is a goat, they need one. The mirror's right here, I see one.
So you just cut out the inker.
Yeah, well, I just took over the job. So.
Do they pay you more?
Yeah, we get paid for ink. Yeah, that's what I would do. I mean, sometimes you're going to still give the job to the inker. Like this story, I think I did ink this one. So I did do I digitally ink that one. But, you don't always get to do it because it depends on, if they owe the inker a job, he's going to ink it.
Like a favor for a favor.
Yeah. But I like digitally inking. It's nice because you can go back and it's not messy. You can fix mistakes pretty easy, but it still looks good. Yeah.
What are Archie books? Are they monthly series or?
No, we've gone down to quarterly on a lot of them now, and they're not doing as much new material just because sales-wise it hasn't warranted it. I think. The sales aren't where they used to be, and probably it's true with a lot of comics because you got so much competition now with games and videos and that kind of thing. So, I mean, hopefully it'll come back around, but right now it has slowed a bit. So there's not as much new content, which kind of limits you on how much you're going to do. So, but at least it's good that we can come to these shows and
but they have different avenues than your average comic book.
And they got 40 years of backlog material. I mean, 40 longer than that. They started in 1940, so 60, 20, 80 years of backlog material they can reprint. So the digests, a lot of them are reprints. You have maybe a couple of news stories, but a lot of it's reprints.
Okay. And do you because how many pages is in one book?
That's I would say 120 or something. But I mean, I'll do the new story. I mean, I might have some reprinted stuff in there as well, because I don't know if it's still the case, but the old case was you wait 5 years and you can reprint it, because you figure you had a new market by then, new kids. So usually in one of the books I'll have a new story if I did the artwork, and a few reprints from earlier stuff I did.
So this has been a journey in life for you that's been amazing for you.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun, yeah. I mean, I do other stuff too, but it's been a consistent,
Now,
sideline.
I'm pretty sure this goes across the world. You're in China, Japan, they got their thing going on. Do you ever visit those?
Yeah, I've been to India 3 times. Archie's really big in India.
Oh, yeah?
So I made 3 trips over there. I got offered one this fall, but I don't know. I was just really feeling it. I didn't want to go again this soon. But it's been fun. And, meeting all these people and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's truly international character. And, I got... And, Canada, it's big, so it's funny because it's not just limited to the United States.
Yeah. And so
I would say outside the United States, Canada and India are our biggest markets.
And you've been doing it, and this is what you've been doing since college.
Yeah, well, I mean, I work for a children's publishing company too. That's my full-time job now, but I do this on the side. There's the shows, and then whenever I get a freelance job from them, so it keeps me pretty busy. But you probably talked to other people before, but how the comic business is up and down. So I learned early on it was important. I mean, back in the day I worked in the Archie office, then we moved down to South Carolina. I went freelance, but as a lot of freelancers learn, freelance is freelance, and you might be busy, you might not be. So I found it easier just to take a full-time job and work a little bit harder when I do have the freelance. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay. And have you met the original artist of Archie?
He's long gone, but when I started, he'd already passed. But Dan DiCarlo, who was a longtime artist, and Stan Goldberg, who was a longtime artist, they both passed now. But when I was in the office, they'd come in every week to bring their stuff in. So I got to meet them, and that was really cool. They give me drawing pointers. So that was a cool experience.
You ever got to build a relationship with them, and then they like gave you advice and
Yeah. So they didn't dish out the work because that was more the editor. But the editor would keep us busy, and they would they'd have them look over our stories. Me and Dan Parent and the other artists, they'd have us look over our stories and see where they thought we could improve things or whatever, poses and this arm doesn't look right or something. So it was kind of cool having somebody to do that.
It wasn't too hard on you.
Huh?
It wasn't too hard on you?
No, they weren't too hard on me. They were very...
I've heard of horror stories with,
they were very generous. I mean, I remember, and it was flattering too, because I remember, like I said, I was writing too at the time, or writing more than I was drawing, and they would tell me that they enjoyed my stories, because they would be drawing my stories that I wrote. And that was kind of cool. Here these guys have been doing it forever, telling me they liked the stories I was writing. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah. I bet that was real good. So, in growing up and drawing and everything, you had a good support base, like your parents. They just said, "Hey, go for it," and everything.
They were very supportive, and
that's good.
They were very. Whenever I was going to art festivals or entering me in art contests or something, and taking art lessons. So they were all along, and even when we went to art school, it seemed like, is this going to work? But they were very supportive about it, so I always appreciate that.
And who do you have right next to you?
Oh, this is my wife, Virginia.
Wife, Virginia. Didn't you say you just moved to Virginia?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. That's not too far, I guess.
Yeah.
And you've been very supportive.
I hope so. I think so.
Yeah, she's here with me today. So.
Right. I always say that that's one of the crucial elements of doing things like this. You just have to have those people that are willing to support you, cheer you on, respect you. Because this could be, taxing, trying to draw something and hoping everybody likes it and everything.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we come to these together and hang out. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This is, I was telling you about Dan DeCarlo, that had been doing it for years. This is something we do sometimes too. He would be in a rush on a story. He wouldn't have time to finish it, so he would do a rough layout, and then I would go back and tighten it up. And it was a good way for me to learn the way he would lay something out.
Right.
And so with this one, he did real loose figures, and then I went back, did the finished pencils. Of course, someone else inked it, but it was fun. Fun way to do it, and you learn stuff too. So,
what would be if somebody wanted to get into the Archie world? Where would you say they should start?
I would say start with online stuff, because there's several Archie fan groups online, Facebook groups too, and so they start. People post their artwork, and the editors will see it on there and things. And I think there's people that have gotten work that way, because you'll, go to the Archie fan page, and like I said, there's probably about 8 Archie-related groups on Facebook alone. And you go and post your artwork, somebody's going to see it, and it could end up doing alternate covers for another company, with the Archie characters, or doing direct work for Archie. So just main thing, get your artwork out there so people can see it.
What about just getting into the actual story of Archie, getting to know Archie, getting to the world of Archie? What is there a certain book that you would say, start with this one, and then?
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember the name, but Archie did put out a book a few years back that was like a Archie Encyclopedia, maybe that's what it's called. But it has basically all the characters and a little write-up about them. Like Marvel and DC's done the same thing. But anyway, it's kind of a cool way. Somebody want to get an introduction, and you might even be able to find it on an online database too. But just maybe do something like that. And there's been several, I think, books that are collections of stories over the decades, like 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and now we kind of have some highlights from those different decades. And if somebody has like a favorite artist or favorite era, it's a good way to catch up on it.
Okay. Have you done a San Diego Comic Con before?
It has been a long time. I think it had been back in the 90s one time. It was overwhelming to me then, so I can't imagine what it's like now. I got friends that do it every year, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to.
You like the smaller,
I like the
thing?
smaller, kind of stuff. I am doing Dragon Con in September in Atlanta. That's
big.
That's a big fun show, so I enjoy that.
Yeah. Now, one last question about Archie. Where is he basically located from? Like, is he just all over?
You mean the character where they live?
Yeah.
It's called Riverdale, but Riverdale kind of represents. I always think it was kind of like a New York area suburb.
New York?
Yeah. There is actually. Where's Riverdale in New York? It's like right outside the city. I think that when the guy started in the 40s, his name was Bob Montana, the guy that created all the characters. I think he was from that area, and so it was kind of representing him and the kids he went to high school with. And then he did the same thing that a lot of the artists did back then. Wound up in World War II for a few years, and came back and started doing comic books. And so they represented characters that he grew up with.
Okay.
And so it's kind of always, they like people that think Riverdale could be anywhere in the United States. So, your neighborhood or next town over or whatever. But originally it started out, the idea was around New York City.
Okay. And one last question, then we're going to close out. Have you ever ventured into any other comics or genre other than Archie?
I haven't done any other genre, like, superhero stuff or horror, really, because my style doesn't really lend to that, and my writing is more humor. But I have done not a lot, but some other stuff for friends that are working on another project. Maybe I'll do some writing for them or characters they're working on. So that's always fun. But it always seems like it comes back to the Archie stuff.
And do like some of the comic book artists in like Marvel, Image, do you guys ever cross paths and have conversations? Or?
Yeah, I mean, like places especially like at Dragon Con, where they have like a green room where you can kind of like hang out and talk to people. It's kind of neat to meet other people and kind of find out what they're doing and where they're doing shows at and stuff. So it's a good resource.
Pretty cool. I appreciate the talk. Let people know what you got going on and where they can find you.
Okay. Name's Bill Golliher, and I have a website, BillGolliher.com, BillGolliher.com. And shoot me an email through there. And if you're interested in something, I got prints, books, all kinds of stuff. I do original artwork. And I'll be at Dragon Con in September in Atlanta, and probably some more shows too around the corner. But that's the main big one coming up next.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.